What do you think we can do to help the cause of identifying and exciting talent? You talked of Verma, that Professor Kurian started. Uh, what are some things that we can do today that will bring in committed and excited talent into this broader sphere of agriculture and food technology?
Let me step back for a minute and just, for the sake of our young audience, tell them that about 72% of South Asians, that includes India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, cannot afford a healthy diet. And I'm using this term healthy diet because it's not just rice or wheat, but it's in a whole variety of things and nutrition and fruit and vegetable. I think, to me, this is our biggest problem. It's shocking. And India is 18% of the world's population and 30 or 32% of the world's people who cannot afford a healthy diet. So it's a challenge. It's also shameful. It's something we need to do urgently. We need to take this up. Having said that, I think that whatever the discipline you're in, it could be chemistry, it could be computer science, it could be engineering. There are opportunities related to food and agriculture in India, and ensuring that people get adequate income, that we have enough production, that consumers get a healthy diet. So the different parts of the chain. And I think one of the failings perhaps of our Indian educational system, and as I speak as someone who's been in the public educational sphere for so many years, is that we are a little in silos. We don't speak to each other.
Yes.
And we are in big silos. The agricultural universities are a different system. The state agricultural universities, they're very good, but they come under the Indian Council of Agricultural Research. You have your IITs, then you have your other central universities, then you have your state universities. So we have, even within academia, we are not talking to each other enough. And I think one of the things I would say is, if in some way we can break this barrier and have some kind of interaction, whether it is optional courses, whether it's visits, how it's going to be done, I'm not sure. But break this barrier between having agricultural university students, having engineering students, having liberal arts students in a different setup, and or economics and management schools differently. Second thing I would say, and this is something that I have done with my students and a lot of young people over the last 20 or 25 years, make a trip to a rural area. Go to a village. And don't just go in the morning and spend a few hours and come back. Stay for a few days. For the last almost 20 years, a group of us, colleagues and students, we have been going on village visits and research visits, surveys actually, very systematic statistical surveys in different parts of India. And we've only covered about 28 villages because, we have to do 1 or 2 every year, so it takes time. But what I've seen is that a student from Delhi or Calcutta or Mumbai or Bangalore, Chennai, our students are generally, the volunteers who come for this are from the top universities in our big cities. It changes their life. Spending a couple of weeks in a village changes their life. Some of them may be in academia, some may go into some business, some may leave the country. It doesn't matter. But it is a life-changing experience. And you may or may not take up a problem related to rural households and agriculture for the next 10 years of your career or even later. But I think, what are the problems? What are the everyday problems? Are very visible. And I would like to add one, which is drudgery of women's labor. We talked about the big agriculture problems, about yield and about income and costs and resources and groundwater. But when you see the kind of work that women are doing in agriculture still, Because, as you know, when a new machine comes, when new equipment comes, when a drone comes or something, it's the men who are going to take it first because it's new and it's something, worth trying. Is something that I think in this century we cannot have people working this way. And here we have huge advances, as you mentioned, in a variety of technologies, and we have to take them to our farm women.
Beautiful summarization. The national education policy talks of exactly what you alluded to. They use a phrase called MERU, Multidisciplinary Education and Research Universities. I think the policy has is come to the realization that having these siloed universities, IITs, is no longer sustainable or even good for the greater good of the country. So I think we are all moving in that direction. I'm hopeful that one day IIT Madras would have a department of agricultural, or at least agricultural, uh, a department that's related to agriculture. Um, the second idea that you propose, that everybody should go spend some time in a rural setting, is fantastic. I will I'll request my producers to collate a list of internship opportunities and leave those links in the descriptions for anybody that wants to take up on the offer that Professor Swaminathan is making. The last point you made with working on the drudgery of women's, sort of easing their day. The government of India has a program called the Drone Didi program. So I think we need many, many, many more such programs. In fact, some time ago, a colleague of mine pointed to a change that happened in the gender bias. My parents' generation in schools were all taught by male teachers, and today you go to any school anywhere in India, it's mostly women who are teachers. And there are theories as to how this happened, and you are alluding to a possible shift in that same direction, in that same sense, of that same magnitude happening in farming.